Hello. I think I set everything up right. I have not been alive in 3 months. It's been 3 months since I've done a live, but there's no but. Some stuff in the background would've, some stuff on how StreamYard works would have changed minorly. Wait a second. I think I have to go turn my headphones off. I think my headphones are on. La, 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 la. What is that? Be right back. I think that's nah, something off. Okay, that should be it. There we go. Anyway, I am here. I am here. I am here just hanging out. Why do oh, my stitch leader, and I don't know if I need that or not. Okay. I haven't been on for a while. It's been like it says 3 months. It says 3 months since I've done a live. That's how long my shop's been on vacation mode. So there's that. I've done a little cleanup. I've done a little tidy up of my area since then. I've I've gotten rid of the big giant shelf. I've now got it streamlined down to this. I had sedation dental for the win. So I moved all my stuff against here. I got rid of the big rack because I wasn't really using it. My ironing board's now against the back wall, and my table is right here, and I can now walk all the way around it. The chair, that's Lisa wanted a new chair. So that one is just living out here for now before we decide what we're gonna do with it. Oh, nice. Hi, something witchy this way comes. Yeah, I'm doing fine. I'm doing just fine. I okay, well, basically I hang out, I dick around, take my time, and I tell incredibly long stories. But no, we had all the tariff stuff come up. Um, it has been a hell of a year for selling online. So we started the year with announcements that we started the year recovering from a postal strike in November, December. And then before the dust settled on that, the tariff stuff started. So then that was going on. But then the government swung by, and the Canadian government swung by and said, and for the postal strike, they said, we're going to commission some reports and do some things. So everything's on hold until May 23rd. So up until May 23rd, we're waiting to see what's going on with everything else. And then May 23rd comes around, and this is it just recently came full circle too. So basically, I put the shop on vacation mode in on May 23rd because Canada Post is a walking, talking shit show. So I put the shop on vacation mode as of May 23rd because a postal strike was a guarantee, and they just went on strike yesterday. So I'm glad I did it. I'm glad I did it when I did it and the way I did it because I'm still getting used to where everything is back here. As always, no matter how no matter how things seem, just remember that this is my the shop has always been my side gig. We have enjoyed being able to do stuff with the income from that shop, but we've never relied on it. We've never put ourselves in a position where we had to rely on. Hey, Trisha, we've never had to put ourselves in a position where we had to rely on the income from the shop. So we've always been in a really good place where that's concerned. So shop went on vacation mode May 23rd. So what also happened, which is the usual thing, I've missed being on here. I basically just like, we'll stop this story, move over to a different story. The way this place is set up, the way that where we live, the way that we're set up, my little corner has no windows and no air, right? So then when it gets hot outside, it gets really fucking insanely stuffy inside. And this corner here gets like nearly, don't worry, it was a sedation dental. This corner gets so stuffy and so difficult to work in. And the shop's on vacation mode and has been for 3 months for this whole time. No, wait, I gotta do that. Okay. The shop's been on vacation mode all this time. So it's like, I'm just like, I'm gonna take a break. I'm not gonna do anything. We revamped the area, changed a few things up. And I'm not gonna agonize about life until this shit is settled. But because it's so hot and so stuffy and so miserable back in this corner, we can't run the air conditioner because I'll blow the fuse. But I can't be back here sewing because I can't really iron. And I'm not running the shop. So it's like, I'm just going to take an extended break. So I relaxed, spent time with the dogs, revamped my space a little, played video games like it was my job. Just basically just enjoyed the last, 2.5 months. Well, May, June, July, August. Oh my God. No, May 23rd, end of May. So end of June, end of July, end of August. Now we're ending in September. So 4 months. So I did a couple of videos. But yeah, so post office just went on strike yesterday. Basically they got some news they didn't like. So they basically just walked off the fucking job, which is not a surprise. I've been expecting this. And they're actually about a month early. What I'm doing today, I should update you on where I am with it. Yeah, it's finally cooling off here now. I've got the air conditioner unhooked. I don't, it's actually nice and comfortable here right now. It was a little cool in the house last night. It's been, yeah, exactly. So screw all that. Be right back. Basically, I've been too hot and sweaty to work on personal projects. And with the shop being shut down, it's like, anyway, I did that a couple days ago. This is hard to see because it's dark colors, but I turned a little square into a little pillow. That's part of my crow project. The last time I went live, I forget which one it was. The last time I went live, I either finished this one or that one. I forget which one I did on the last time I went live, and then I haven't done anything since until, yeah, and then this one. I'm just catching up on where I'm at work wise, and then that one. So that's 3. This is the new one I just did a couple days ago. I just did that one a couple of days ago. So my crow quilt. Yeah, something to crow about. So my crow quilt is back on track. Don't forget, I don't need the crow quilt until it actually starts getting really cold here. I don't need it for another month or 2. I got plenty of time, right? So my original plan was to do 4 and then do other stuff around it, but it's like, yeah, I'm not going back. I am done for the year. Thank you. Yeah, the purple, Lisa loved that purple when she saw it. Basically, where the shop is concerned, I am done for the rest of the year at least. I'm not even going to try. The tariffs have been a shit show, which we knew. I knew that was coming. That was one of the reasons why it's like, It's like we got the post office is 100% going on strike at some point, and the tariff thing is happening. And I don't need to be anybody's test case. It's like I'm gonna be on break to see what's going on with the post office, and while that's happening, let everybody else sort out the tariff, how they're gonna ship around the tariffs. I can learn from their mistakes, and when I'm ready to go back, I just go boop and I'm back. So I gotta measure this. I need a ruler that's like, I need a ruler. Well, here's a nice thing though. The way I've got this set up now, I don't. A lot of people tack this down, but because I move it and spin it around, so what I'm doing today, I'm gonna make like a window frame. I'm gonna take this, right? I'm gonna take that, and I'm basically just gonna put a dark piece down the center and a dark piece across the side. It's gonna look like a window frame. Then I'm gonna put it onto some other colors and see how that turns out. Right now, right this minute, it's not worth it for me to reopen the shop. Now, as far as I know, everything I send is tariff free. That's what I've looked up so far. And other people, don't forget, I run a group of people that I run an Etsy sellers group on. I run a group online as it is. Yeah, priority mailboxes and flat rate boxes. We have the same thing up here. Okay, this is 9 3/4. Half of nine is 4 1/2. Half of 3/4 is 3/8. So 9 7/8. I mean, 4 1/2, 4 7/8. So it's very close. It's going to be very close to 5 inches. I am doing this the lazy way. If I can see, I'm going to have to switch. You guys might not be able to hear me very well for a second. I've got to get directly under the light because I can't see where the dark blue and the black, like once the ruler is in the way, I can't see where they separate. I just have to cut this. Lengthwise one time. It's only one cut. Right back. If everything was where it was supposed to be. You know what? I'm just going to go for 5. I can find it. I only have to make the one cut, but I have to do it right, or it's gonna be a problem. There we go. There we go. Okay. Basically, once I realize that there's okay, so the punchline is, well, you're decluttering. Yeah, I'm still loving my sassy dragon. Okay. So what people normally do, what you normally do is you have a really fuzzy freaking camera. Come on, play nice. Okay, what people normally do is they have their background and they use solid colors to build the frame. But because this is so dark with solid colors, like all the black is solid, it's very solid black. So I'm going to reverse it, and that's going to be the window frame. So this should be, get over here. You come here. You can stay there. Okay. I don't want a super thick frame, so I think I'm going to trim this. I've got my piece here. It's left over from some other stuff. So I think I'm going to trim this down to like 1.5 inches. I want it to have some color to it. It's actually, if I were not, well, you guys know the routine. If I wasn't, where'd I put it? Oh, there it is right there. Anyway, so the tariffs, The tariffs are, it depends on who you are and what you're doing. Provincetown? No, never heard of it. Where's that? Okay, so this is this is going to be easy. I already have black in here, so I don't need to worry about that. I already have, so I want the lighter black. That's as always, if you're watching this for sewing ideas, remember to pin the crap out of it. I'm lazy, so I don't. Anyway, so yeah, so going in the big circle, of this stuff. It's well, yeah, I gotta go turn that iron on, and I don't want to. The only thing you have to make sure you get right is that when I put these two together, let's go down here. The one thing I have to remember is that when I put these two together, when I put this to this, I've got to do my best to make sure that they're lining up evenly, right? So they have to line up evenly, because if they're off center, they're gonna spread a little bit, which is fine. But if they're off center, then that's gonna look like an absolute. Actually, I've got a plan. If I have time, I'm gonna be doing 2 today. Anyway, where's my? This one I will clip to make sure I'm keeping my dimensions proper. Let's start it there. I haven't done one of these before, so I'm going to be taking the time to fiddle. So anyway, where was I in my bitch fest? Anyway, so what happened yesterday, is that the Canadian government, the Canada Post is bankrupt. Canada Post as an organization is bankrupt and has been relying on government bailouts for years, but we do not have this constitutional, we have it in our Canadian law requires that a post office be available and yada, yada, yada. But it does not require service. It's not as specific as the US post office. So the government in Canada is not required to bail them out. So the government yesterday just announced we are no longer providing, Canada Post is bankrupt, and we are no longer willing to run the company with an endless series of billion-dollar bailouts, because that's how they've been functioning for years now, right? So they basically gave them permission to drop down to 2-day-a-week service and to make a bunch of other changes, which will pretty much guarantee a bunch of layoffs. So of course the union immediately says, "Fuck you, we're going on strike." So yeah, we're on strike we were on strike as of about an hour after that announcement came by. It's been a shit show, and honestly, the union is 100% at fault for this, because the union has been screaming from the rooftops how Canada Post has money and just doesn't want to spend it. Which is not true. So it's like, oh, fuck, guys, stop doing this shit, right? Okay. So that's where that's going. But okay, there's the first part. See, this is gonna look. This is. I don't know if I'm even gonna like this, because this is gonna look a little different as a window frame. Simply because usually it's, like I said, usually this is the solid and these are lighter colors, and this is in reverse. Camera's picking it up pretty good though. We'll see. I'm doing this the lazy way because I still have to come back and trim it all up. I need to turn the iron on. One nice benefit is, look at that. One nice benefit, no more giant orange extension cord going halfway across the room. So I'm just gonna iron this open, find the halfway, cut it, and do the same thing again. I'm going to, I'm gonna iron it open like that to give myself more room. Cape Cod, Massachusetts, gayest town in America. Mostly I get along great with gay men. This is one panel in a larger quilt. I started the quilt here. I'll show again. Last one I showed it a few minutes ago, but I was so every panel is going to be a little bit different. So that's one. That's another. These two panels, I'm not sure if they're going to be the same. Yeah, these two panels are the same, but they're facing in different directions. So there's the other. This is what I've got done so far. That one. This one and the next one are going to be trimmed down to 19 inches. I made some decisions on how I wanted it to look. And these two need to be a little smaller, but it won't affect the look. And that's the last one. So I have these 4 done. Basically, what I was going to do was do 4 and then fill the rest of the space in with just solid to go faster. But it's like, I'm not running the shop right now. I've got more time. I've got way more time for this sort of stuff. So I decided to do all 16. I'm doing 16 panels. Come on. Yeah, you are hot. What's going on? It's hot. I'm just being slow. There we go. There we go. Now, I am just going to cut this. I'm going to cut this one in half. This is all getting trimmed out. This is off center already. I'll fuck that up. I don't care. It's only going to be one panel on a bigger blanket, on a bigger project, so I don't have to care. Where's the other piece that I just had? So again, 1.5 inches. You couldn't have a full moon in every window panel of a window frame quilt. People do it. People do that all the time. But it's people do that all the time with their quilting. But it is way more popular. I'm not sure if this one's straight, so I'm gonna fix this one first. Anyway, no. So that's my thing. The tariffs. The tariffs have been. We knew the tariffs were going to be a mess. I don't think anybody is surprised that the tariffs are a mess. That's not. But yeah, it's like. So I've been shut down for 4 months already, enjoying a nice long extended vacation. Oh, and I need to do that too. 1.5 inches, same as the other one. That piece is too narrow to do anything with. And I'm just gonna go back over here again. Find a halfway point, cut this one in half. Okay, that's weird because that does match. Oh, I know that these are not square. 11, so it's gonna be 5.5. I don't care if this turns out 100% perfect because I've never done one of these before, so at least not with this particular style. Yeah. Having a different design each panel seems more fun to me. There's another there's another variation where you're slicing through the where you're slicing your way into the panel. as part of the design that I'm probably going to do next. And some of them are going to be a lot simpler than these because I can, okay, each one has to be 19 inches. So I can just take one and just add anything around the outside and make it 19 inches and go from there. It's going to be an interesting, I don't know, for us, we've got our own problems. Like I said, Canada Post just went on strike. The government has already announced that they are basically the reason why they just went on strike is because the government has announced we are not bailing you out. We are giving Canada Post permission to make the changes that they need to make so that they can actually not be a bankrupt company relying on their Canada Post loses $1 billion a year. Now, it might not seem like it's really not much by American standards when your budget is measured in trillions, but for our budget, for Canada's got a much smaller budget and GDP than the States does. So, but no, it's the tariffs have been a fucking joke. Because the thing is that, and I'm not gonna comment on what's going on politically because I'm in Canada. We have different issues and we have different concerns. The main issue that we have in Canada is that we actually can't win a fucking trade war with the States, and everybody thinks that we can. So our politicians are like, we're going to fight and we're going to win this trade war and we're going to do this and we're going to do that. And it's like, that's what happened with the tariffs. There's two ways that you can send a product that has a tariff on it. You can send it DDP, where the duty is prepaid, or you can send it DDU, where the customer is responsible to pay for the duty on pickup. Well, we said, we're going to fight and we're not going to do this and we're going to do that. And fuck you guys, America. We're going to fight and we're going to win this trade war. So they turned around and said, okay, if the duties are not prepaid, we're just not going to let it through the border then. Right? We rely on the States for over 70% of our trade. The United States relies on Canada for about 3%. Now I can have I can have all the opinions politically in the world. It doesn't change the reality, and that is that we cannot win a trade war. So, because we just simply can't. We do not have the resources for it. We have too much reliance on the U.S. and we have never. Canada has never taken any steps to reduce our reliance on U.S. trade. We don't have enough deep water ports to get our products out of the Americas. We can't even get our shit to Mexico. Like, we just don't have. We don't have it. We don't have pipeline. If we want to sell oil to other countries like Europe right now is like, we need oil, and Canada is sitting back going, well, we can't help you because we believe pipelines are bad, so we won't approve any new pipelines because they cause pollution, which is a separate conversation. But we have spent the last 30 years not building infrastructure, not putting ourselves in a position where we can actually compete. We cannot compete on the global market. Like, I mean, yeah, that's my political rant for the day, and I will try not to regale everybody with all the things, but Canada can't win a trade war. But Canada thinks they can win a trade war. So here we are. Anyway, the good news for me is that I don't rely on the income. The good news for Lisa is that we saw this coming. Made all the arrangements, everything's going to a fulfillment center in the U.S. So everything is going to be shipping from the U.S. outwards. We had to pay a tariff to get our stuff into the U.S., but we're paying on the production cost and not the retail cost. So we save a little bit of money. Okay, I'm going to go iron this. I'm kind of happy with it. We'll see. We'll get a good look. Okay. It's not bad. That's not bad at all. Just keeping it, I just kept it simple. There is an entire process. There is an entire process where you take, let's just do that. I'll hold it up. There's an entire process. I'm just not going to get this right. There's an entire process where you, oh, Lisa's job is secure. She's in a recession-proof industry, so she will be fine. And you know what? Even if she's not, if Lisa's doing so well with the decks and everything else, if it came down, okay, we could get by, right? We could get by. I could go back to a day job. I would have no problem. So that's my little window frame done. Now I have to, I'm going to go back over here again. Trim this in a little bit. We'll see. We'll see. Let's do this first. It's okay if they're elongated. So I'm going to try and make them as long as possible. Check the yes. Okay, that one's fine. And I have to trim this. There's too much stuff in here. Oh, is that what I did? Or that's fine. Okay, I'm gonna do that. Too much off, but I'll live. That's fine. Let's do that first. This part I hate. 1, 2, 3, 4. Shayla's over here snoring away. 3.5. That's perfect. 1, 2, 3.5. Okay, this will be fine. That's even better. That's even better. Okay, that's better. Looks more like a windowsill now. Looks more like a window frame. One, two. I thought I had a third one over here. If I have the third one, then I don't have to do nothing. Right back. Or actually, not right back, but I had a second one of these sitting over here, and it must have slipped behind something because I lost track of it. That's okay. That's okay. Wait a second. Where are you? You are that. Oh, you are leftovers. Okay, I got to cut some fabric. Oh, this goes right sides that way. I don't have to care about much. I just got to make sure I'm getting this fabric off correctly. Two and a half should do it. Be right back. Okay. Anyway, where are we at? I switched up everything so that I can access this table better. I switched up everything so I can access this table better and the iron better. But it's also been 3 months since I made a video. Usually when I'm getting ready to make a video. Oh, I'm ironing. See you soon, Robin. I am making the back of the quilt is going to be the quilt as you go process. So this piece that's the back. That's going to be the back in one section. So there's going to be some that are multicolored or whatever, and there's going to be some that are black. I'm probably going to have a lot of black though. So this is this will probably be easier if I do it this way. So now I just have to put, oh man, I got this. You know what? That's okay though, because I got that up there. I got the tip of his beak, but I don't really think it's going to affect anything. Now I have to get the larger window frame around the outside. There's an entire thing that you can do. That was me because when I trimmed it, I trimmed one too much, and then I had to make the other one the same. There's an entire process where you can do this, where you have like this here. You have one color here, then you have a lighter color here, and you have a weird little thing at the corner. There's a really super schmancy way to do these where it looks exactly like a frame. I'm just going with makes you think of a window frame. I'm not going to try too hard. But I've got a couple of more layers to do. Before I'm done. It's okay if that's not perfect. I'm going to save that for last. That one's done. These were just scraps off of something else. So I'm going to be trimming this down. I just want to throw it on first to see what I think of it. Yeah, I'll do it from there. This was a scrap piece from something else, so I get to use up some of that too. Anyway, so how are you guys doing? I haven't seen I was streaming on Twitch. I was doing my video gaming and streaming on Twitch, but that's really quiet. It's usually me and Jenny that shows up. Sometimes Lisa will stop in. Because I never tried to do anything with that. I was just like, hey, I might as well turn on the camera in case anybody wants to hang out. But I haven't really been around much. Okay. Is my bobbin almost done? Nope, my bobbin is fine. Yeah, Faffle and lazy. Oh my God, yeah. Hey, Jenny. I just start talking about you and you just show up. It's like magic. It's like you heard your name or something. Yeah, Jenny and I have been hanging out quite a bit over at Twitch, but that's just video gaming. That's nothing that. Oh, please tell me yeah, they're the right size. Yeah, I've had the Twitch channel for a bit now. If I'm playing a video game and I happen to think of it, I will turn on the stream and just let it run in case anybody wants to come and hang out. I forget what I called it. I don't really use it that often. I don't because I found that if I'm spending too much time on Twitch, then I'm just not doing anything else. It's like, no, I'll just sit here for 5 hours. Fun. Right now, I am just binging the hell out of a game called Palworld, which has been a lot of fun. The new Diablo season just started a few days ago, so I'm probably going to get, Cult Bunnies, Disney, not Pokemon. Yeah, Dreamlight Valley, Diablo 4, Palworld, Cult of the Lamb. Those are the only 4. I think there was another one that I tried. Oh, I tried to do a Roller Coaster Tycoon, but it wouldn't let me. It just, I gotta do that. It didn't want me to. It wouldn't let me do Roller Coaster Tycoon because Twitch has to support the game, and for some reason it didn't support that game. Probably because it was just too old, to be honest with you. Roller Coaster Tycoon's a really old game. Okay. Yeah, see, the iron going behind me is the reason why I haven't been so well. That and yeah, just give me a second. Let me just finish this. Let me just finish this one. See, this is why I haven't been sewing, is because with it's really weird because we are on a part of the building that's really well shaded. But once it gets hot and once it gets hot and there's no breeze. Oh, shush, 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 shush. Okay, oh my God, how do I get to my channel? There we go. Sorry, I usually do Twitch from over on. Hey Marion, how you doing? I usually do Twitch. I usually run it from my tablet so I can have, because I can't have it at the same time. But that's the Twitch channel, Sparks1_1. But oh yeah, I love Roller Coaster Tycoon. It's just I don't know why. I don't know why. I've always found it relaxing. Okay, so here is the windowsill. I gotta iron it. That's the window. Okay, I don't think I want it to be. I wanted to make it wider. It's easier to cut some off than to add some back on. I wanted to make it. I wanted to start with a little wider and see what I think. Come on. But yeah, just giving everybody the update, Marion. Just the Coles Note version is Canada, is that all the tariff and stuff like that is happening, and then some Canada Post stuff just happened, and they immediately went on strike. So they're on strike now. We still haven't got the tariff stuff. Oh, and the up here we call it CUSMA. Down there you call it USMCA, United States Mexico Canada Free Trade Agreement. The free trade agreement that exists between Canada, Mexico, and the United States is going to be entering renegotiation next month, with the option of the US opting out completely as of January. So I've just decided, I've been kind of hemming and hawing for a while, but I'm not shutting down the shop permanently. I think, I don't know, but I am definitely not coming back until after the new year. This postal strike is probably going to last right up until Christmas. So there's no point. And then, like I said, January, the states can walk away from the tree. Yeah, post office. Oh my God. You know what? I'll tell you right now. I would just walk in and lay off most of those mofo's. They are. I don't know how to describe this, but it's like they're like, Canada Post has the money. They're just lying about it. It's like they literally commissioned a national report that showed that the company loses $1 billion a year, and they are not. They're called a crown corporation, but their job is to be financially self-sufficient. And if they can't be it's a fucking mess. Anyway, so that's the frame that's done now. Now I have to square that off. I don't think I want it as thin as that. I think I want it to be about here. So let me see where we're at. I love faffling stuff. I really do. So this is the widest spot here is around 2 inches. That's a little less than an inch. Anyway, so I'm just gonna stay shut down. With the way it's okay, let's get back to the other thing. Okay, so basically we live in a lovely spot that is like fully shaded all the time, right? So that's always nice. But then once the weather hits a certain peak, there's not a lot of breeze. It's like if you're walking through the woods on a slightly breezy day, the shade, it's so refreshing. It's all this stuff. But when you're walking through the woods on a hot day with very little airflow, it is like, so yeah, can't turn the air off. Can't turn the air conditioner off because that's a problem. I'm gonna make this, I think 1.5. 1.5 will make it about that wide all the way around. I think that'll be nice. Oh, exactly. This is how I do it, right? This is why I give myself lots of time. So if I do this 1.5 inches, I will lose about another 1/4 of an inch once I put the next piece on. There. Yeah, I can do this. I can do this here from the smaller ruler. It's just when I was bringing out the bigger ruler. Anyway, so I am done for the year. I am done for the year. I will reevaluate going into next year what I do or don't want to do, because like I said, I say this every time every time somebody shows even the slightest hint of being concerned, I remind everybody we do not rely on the income. We do not rely. This is what I use. It's like I wanted the tablet, right? It's like, well, I'll save up my Etsy money and buy myself a tablet because it's a glorified toy at the end of the day. It's like, okay. So yeah, we've never put ourselves in, even okay, like I used my Etsy money to buy our car, right? Oh, hey honey. I used my Etsy income to make the car payments, but before we agreed that we were taking on a car payment, the first thing we did was well, if something happens with the Etsy, are you able to, do we have the income? Do we have the income for me to walk away if something comes up and I can't handle the payments? And it's like, yes. So even obligations that I took on were very carefully organized so that if anything changed, we did not have, we've enjoyed it, but we've never had to rely on it. So I'm done for the year. That's the frame. That's the frame. Oh, hey, remember I said that one spot didn't line up the way I want? Oh, no, it's up here. That didn't line up properly, but that's okay. So now I've got two options. You guys have to help me here. Oh yeah, Marion. Yeah. Okay. I just had a brain fart, and it's like, yeah, Marion you're taking care of all your shipping yourself, aren't you? Poor Marion. Yeah, shipping to the US is a problem. So I have to add stuff to this. I have to add to this until it's 19 inches by 19 inches square. So I thought maybe if I went like that, now you've got the wallpaper in the room, right? Which is fine. But I wonder. Okay, so if I do that, I've got the wallpaper in the room, right? But then I remember that I have this. And I'm wondering if I go 19 inches high and then just stay with this proportion, right? And then fill in the edges with this, like a bookcase on the side of the room. Does that make sense? Let's turn this around so it's showing proper way to you guys. So basically so basically we're looking out of a dingy dark room through a window frame into the night. This will be good all by itself. This will be perfect all by itself. No problems there. I'm just wondering if that's brighter than I thought it was going to be though. I don't think I want to do the whole thing in it. It might be good, but the books are too bright. Hey Moira, how you doing? Well, this is the thing. If I do this, I probably have to build some sort of a frame around that as well. And I just don't want to do that. I don't want to do that much work. So if I did that, I would probably have to like make shelves. And I really would only have, how wide is this already? This is already a little over 10 inches wide. I only need about 4.5. I only need 19 inches total. So about 4 inches on each side. And it's gonna be this is gonna be rectangular. It's gonna look shorter. Yeah, I don't think I should. I don't know. I think it might look cool. Don't put it on the computer. Don't put it on the computer, or I'll end up closing windows and really fucking myself up. Or I go like that. And then you're just looking out through the library window. It's kind of funny. I'm getting a better view of it. I'm getting a better idea of what it's going to look like by looking at the screen instead of the here. Nah, you know what? I think I'm overthinking it. I think I am just going to take enough to make 19 inches by 19 inches. So I need, it's 10 inches. I need 9. So if I cut if I do 6-inch strips, then I'll have lots of wiggle room, because I may have to, depending on how I decide to trim it up later. If something changes, can always take some off, can't add it back on. Oh no, wrap each, okay, tissue paper is a really good touch though, because it helps keep it from scuffing against the box and everything else. I don't think, yeah, I'm going to take off 2 6-inch strips. 6. I need at least 5, 6, 6.5. I'm going to take off, so I'm going to go over there and cut and do some ironing. But yeah, so what happens in the gully down here is once we get into summer, we're shaded, so we're kind of coolish first thing in the morning, but then the airflow just stops and that's still unmoving. So basically it gets so stuffy that we're running the air conditioner constantly. We've had days where we're actually like a little chilly in here, because we have to keep the air conditioner running, because the minute we turn it off, it just goes straight to that muggy stuff. And so I have not sewn hardly anything all summer. I'm glad, I'm really, really happy to getting back to it actually. Okay, this is all the tiny stuff. Yeah, poor Moira. Marion. All you people with M names, I'm blaming you. Okay. Okay. I have to. That fabric is actually directional. It's got writing on it. So I have to cut a piece here and a piece here for the top and bottom to keep it in the right direction. And I should be able to use what's left to do my top and bottom. So I'm going to be cutting like a 12-inch piece. Yeah, something like that. One of these days I will get my camera shit all sorted out. There we go. I'm going to go iron. Get down there. That's what I need to do, is now that I'm not worrying so much about I've had a holiday. Yeah, this one looks like wallpaper, and it looks old, and it looks a little beat up, which is going to really, really, I think, add to the effect. Come on, do that. You got to iron out the crease. You got to go over here, and you got to iron out that crease, and then the first thing you have to do is fold it again. Okay, what are we doing here? How wide do I need this to be? Let us measure my stuff. All my shit. Measure my shit. Okay. This is almost 14 inches. 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. I only need 5 inches, which means I need 2.5 on the top, 2.5 on the bottom. Yeah. Seasonal employee at Barnes and Noble. Yeah, I've just been waiting. I've just been waiting out. It's not a lot of incentive. It's not a lot of incentive when you can't sew for your business, which is fine. Like I said, I was aware of. It's not like I'm surprised or shocked or upset by what's going on, but it's annoyingly inconvenient, right? So I can't do it. There's no point in trying to sew for the business, but at the same time, oh, that's because what is that? And there's a little red light coming here, and it's like, why is that red? What's going on? Did I spill on it? But also, the only major projects that I have planned are quilts. It's like it's 80 degrees outside. If I turn off the air conditioner, it's going to go even worse in here because of no airflow in the area where I need to work. So yeah, I haven't been doing much. Okay, I'm going to take that one. I really like having two cutting boards, two cutting mats kicking around. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 14, 17, 1,000. It's fine. I got plenty. Whether I need to or not, I like to double check and make sure that I'm not using more than I need. I don't want to cut a piece like this. Actually, okay. Currently, I don't want to cut a. Yeah, the only thing I have to do, I need this to be a 19 by 19 inch square. This has to be 19 by 19 to go in with the quilt that I'm making. So I have to build out wallpaper around it anyway. So I fucked that up. Okay, what are we doing here? This is going to be 6 inches, and that's fine. I'm giving myself some wiggle room too, because if I don't finish it out properly, I can just store it and then not worry about the. If you do it, if you need exactly 4 inches and you make it exactly 4 inches and then you store it, you could lose way more than that. Well, you wouldn't lose the whole 4 inches, but you could suddenly come back after a little while and find out that you only got 3.5 inches left, and then you're fucked. And I already know I'm doing 16 of these, and I'm not going to force myself to rush. So the crow lost a bit of his beak at the front, but yeah. This looks, I really like this one. Which one's the upside right? That's upside right. It has stuff that goes down both directions. It has stuff that goes up and down and side to side, but I want it to match is the thing. I want it to match, and I'm being a big baby about it. So I'll go over here. We'll go over here and look. Now you guys can see nothing. There we go. So anyway, God, I'm lazy. Look at this. I made sure my cut was straight. So now I just have to add that. Yeah, I've been a little bit more conscious about wasting now, because it's like, oh, if I cut that wrong and have that if I cut that wrong and end up, this isn't going to be the right length and I can't use it, I can't just go, I'll just make a bag out of leftovers. Can't do that now. I don't know. I don't know what next year is going to look like. I've already made the decision going forward that I'm just not going to agonize about any of it. I'm 60 now. I'll be 61 by then. So I might make less stuff, post less off, and like, before I would be like, oh well, the shop's getting a little bit low. There's only 110 listings. I better put some stuff in there. Maybe I'll just worry about maintaining 40, 50, not worry too much about it. I don't know how that's going to look. Haven't fully decided how that's going to look yet, but we'll see. There's that. Which one's the upside right? Aha, that's the upside right. Yeah. That's where I need it. Actually, with that being so perfectly lined up, if I take this over here a bit. No, I'm going to do it that way. I'm going to let it be a little lined up. Then it will look more like wallpaper. Anyway. Where's the edge? Oh, it's way down there. Thought I had the edge up higher than it was. Anyway, I'm gonna have to trim this out. I have to go iron it anyway, and I wasn't sure how I was going to have to end up shifting it, and I wanted the wider pieces for the sides. So yada yada. Where's the edge? There it is. I'm losing track of my edges. That's weird. I don't usually lose track of that. There we go. I'm gonna go trim it and iron it. I'll be right back. Iron it, then trim it. There we go. Well, that's even better. There we go. La 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 la. Hey, look. Now you're looking at the sewing machine while I'm over here cutting things. I'll just be a second. There we go. This one's done. This one's done. Let's just move things around. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm doing. That is, I'm just gonna. I was supposed to be semi-retired. There we go, and that is the right length. I just need to cut it in half. I'm just gonna slice it in half and throw it on, and then we will be fine, and then that will be good to go. That's all. I was supposed to be semi-retired this whole time, and I swear to God that there were times where I was working harder being retired than I've ever worked when I had a day job. So, okay, how wide is this thing? How badly did I fuck this up? Okay, 7. La 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 la. Say what? Yeah, I get all dramatic like I'm dying or the whole world is ending. Yeah, I just I just start sweating. Okay, I just start sweating buckets. It's not fucking fun. Okay, so that's gonna go. Where's my top? I just even though this twist, even though this has both directions, I want them to match. I want them to match so that I'm not fucking things up. Okay, so this is long too, which is fine. So that goes like that. That goes like that. We're gonna go back over here. I really come on, come on. This one's probably gonna be pretty easy. And we have some really crappy weather in here right now, an atmospheric river. We have that happening right now. So we're going to be getting a lot of rain and a lot of temperature drops over the next few days. But with this is only going to be 16 panels. Yeah, this is only going to be 16 large panels. And with Quilt As You Go, everything's already pre-done. So once each panel is created, all you do is connect them together and you're done. So, or at least the way I do it, because I know that I accidentally invented my own thing, I think, because I thought that I was doing it correctly according to instructions I saw online, and then I started doing it and I started liking it and everything was wonderful. Then I tried to do, let's see what type of stuff people are doing with their quilt as you go, and it's like I can't find it again. Yeah. Well, here's the thing. My leg loves the heat. My leg enjoys the heat. like nobody's business, but my breathing and my allergy time and all that shit absolutely does not enjoy I'm okay with heat. It's the stuffiness that I can't handle. When things start getting stuffy, and that's what happens where we are. We had several days where we could have had the air conditioner off, but there was just like no airflow, no anything, and taking that lack of airflow and the stuffiness, and then trying to sit in a corner that has no. Okay. I keep even in the middle of winter, I'll have a fan going over there just to generate some airflow into this corner when I'm working, but can't rely on the air conditioner if you're going to blow the fuse every 35 seconds. Okay. But anyway, no, I don't know what next year's going to look like. I mean, it's going to be an easy start. It's going to be an easy start because I had a bunch of stuff in the shop. And when I went on vacation mode, like I packed it carefully. It's still clean and dry and dust free and the whole works. But I've got a bunch of stuff that I put away. Okay, that's something I can maybe do. Maybe I can do the thing. I didn't invent, and I don't think I invented a new way to do it. Basically, what I do appears to be, I thought I followed along with, I thought I was following along with tutorials. Okay, this goes that way, that way, that goes that way. I was following along with a bunch of tutorials and stuff, and it turns out that the way I do it is slightly different. I don't know if it's very different, but it's different from the tutorials I was following along. And it turns out that those tutorials that I was following, so I learned a lot of this stuff. Ooh, yay! Welcome back, Linda. Linda's the reason why. Okay, Linda's not the only reason. Lisa and I were just chatting earlier this week that hey, I haven't done anything on my channel in a long time. I should check in. And it's like, yeah, the weather's starting to cool off. It's time for me to consider another video. And then Linda messages me yesterday going, hey, dumbass, I haven't seen you in a while. What the fuck? I'm like, okay. No, Linda didn't do that. I'm going to say you did, though, because it's funny. But nah. It's like, hey, I've been telling myself I need to make a video because it's been way too long. So I decided to do one today. But so I also decided once we knew how cool, once we saw what the weather was doing, it's like, I could get some sewing done. And Lisa's like, you can turn on the fucking camera while you do it. People have been asking. So there. Okay. We're gonna drum roll it. I'm gonna go iron this, and I'm not gonna trim it to 19 yet. I'm gonna iron it and trim it to get the obvious out of the way. Oh, yeah, you guys can't see shit. Anyway, talk among yourselves. I'll be back eventually. I think. No, I'll be back. I'm not going anywhere. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. There we go. Okay. Let's see. That should look good just like that. Let's see if we can get the camera. Oh, wait, I should have no problem. Oh, look at that. That is, hey, that's not bad, actually. That's not bad at all. So this is the picture frame. This is the done frame. How am I doing it? So that's the done frame. And I'll be trimming it down, and I'll be trimming it down to trim away this until it's 19 by 19. And that is going to be another panel in the quilt. So that's going to be awesome. I don't know what I'm going to, ta-da! Yeah. I did not say that, but I could have been afraid to hurt feelings. Oh, please. I don't have feelings. I just have a sense of humor. It's fine. No. Was Bruno here? Shayla's here. I don't see him. Yeah, I better not summon him. Shayla's over in this corner. Shayla's over there. Hi, baby girl. Her ears are twitching and she's like, I'm ignoring your ass. Don't talk to me. I'm sleeping. She's doing fine. What time is it now? Oh my God, it's only 3 o'clock. I've got time for the next one. Okay. So basically, what I did, I don't know if you guys remember this or not. Let me give you a walk down memory lane. What I did, what I've been doing, I tweaked my quilt as you go method, right? So what I've been doing is I put the quilt together, right? I put the top together and then I sew it all down to the backing, right? But then what I've been doing is adding this border. So that's the purple one. And there's 2 different fabrics there, right? So I cut the whole thing to size and then I'm just adding this afterwards because I've been finding it's easier to get a more precise cut on this. Where was I going with that? So all I've got to do is quilt up the top of that with that. All I've got to do is add my batting and my backing, quilt it all together, and then trim it. And yeah, this one turned out really well. Where's the other one? Where is the other one? Where did it go? Oh my God, somebody ate it. I was convinced I had a ghost in here a while ago, earlier today. Couldn't find my jacket. Then I remembered that I put it in the wash. Whoops, that one goes that way. No, wrong way. I'm trying to stand sideways to the camera. That's the one I just did a couple days ago. I just did that one about 2 days ago. Anyway, so that one's done. That one's done. These two still need to, these two are going to be trimmed down. This one and the 5-sided one, they're going to get trimmed down because they're too big. I'm going to trim them back to 19, attach the binding again. That's just a noodle tweak I've been adding. So all I've got to do, the fuck? Oh, no, that shouldn't be anybody I know. I wonder which scam this is. Anyway, so I can do that. I can do this anytime, then trim it, then add what's going to be the self-binding section. And I can do that all separately. So I can set this one aside for now. My next one that I want to do, and I don't know. Yeah. For English, press 1. For Chinese, press 2. We get a lot of that. We get a lot of scam callers targeting the Chinese community here because we have a very large Chinese community in the Lower Mainland area. Anyway, it decided to fix itself. The quilt as you go it's easy. It's really easy. basically, I can't really show it right now because I don't think I have anything that's ready to go. Let's see if I have anything that's why I have that one. Okay, I have that one. Oh, that's a pretty one. I want to save that one. There we go. There's one. Okay, I'm gonna do a quilt as you go example for you guys. We're gonna sample out a quilt as you go. Oh, see you later, Trisha. Thanks for hanging out. I finished what I needed to do. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna make this really simple. I'm just gonna throw this. This is all from my scrap pile, so it's okay if it's okay if it's a waste. It's not a waste if I end up finding a good if I end up doing something beneficial with it. Okay, so this is what we do. Okay, so we back to the iron, just for a minute. Not very well done, but that's okay. Let me get a couple of pieces of scrap and some scrap binding. Okay. I'm just gonna chop up some shit here for a second. Yeah, that'll be fine. This is all from my scrap pile, so don't worry. No important fabrics were harmed in the making of this example. So there we go. Just gonna mess up all my shit. This is why I love coming on to do lives with you guys, and I should remember this. I have got to keep this in mind. But then again, I've got to stand in the fucking airless corner that makes me want to die. Okay, so got that. And we've got this. Okay, got that one. And I need two clashing colors. So you guys, okay, I've got everything. Okay, everything's in clashing colors because you guys will get a better look at what I'm doing. Okay. A baby quilt. Yeah, this is going to be, honestly, if I want to, I can continue this out for Bruno. Okay, so what I do with the quilts as you go, there's two different ways that I'm doing them right now, and I'm going to show you the old way. Actually, I guess I'll show you the new way. So I'm just going to take and cut some of that. We're going to trim everything down so it's smaller, so it's easier to handle. Okay, that. Oh yeah, I've got a bin over there. By the way, I showed you guys the pillow, right? Here is it. Man, I just gotta not be messing everything. I mess everything up. This is this pillow that I made. I mean, I had been working on some of these. This one was going to be too small that I'd already done, so I trimmed it out and made it into a pillow. And do you know what I used for the stuffing? I took all the batting, I kept all my batting and just picked it apart. And once I had a big enough container of it, I just stuffed the pillow. I did not, because I generate a lot of scrap, right? Yeah, it's a fun little pillow. It's my favorite. I've been wanting to make myself a pillow for a while now. Okay, don't throw it on the dog. Do this over here. Don't mind me, if I don't clean this up properly, I will have problems later. I have a bin over here for all my scrap. Okay, quilt as you go. We're going to put one piece here. This one's going to obviously need to be this is going to need to be trimmed down. Oh shit, I didn't need to sew these two together. That's okay. So I'm going to center this a little bit. I'm going to go at an angle because I freaking can. Okay. So basically you just get your shit sorted out, right? So this is the top. I will do this properly in a second, trust me. Just I'm getting the obvious out of the way so I don't have to leave this table. So I can just stay right here. Okay. So the quilt as you go, I'll get my little ruler. La la la, la la la. Okay. So the quilt as you go is actually really easy. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to, this is your top, right? So you're going to get this to size. You're going to get this to size, whatever that may be for you. My God, I'm making life difficult on myself for no good reason, aren't I? So I'm going to do these at 6 inches so that they're equal, right? Do. Now, the way I have been doing it lately is I do the bottom also to 6 inches to the same. I do the bottom also to the same size. Do you want to see the old way or the new way? That's the thing. That's the problem. The new way is a little easier. I'm going to show you. You know what? I'm already not doing it right, so I'll show you the new way. Did I? Yeah, I got the edge of there. Okay. So I really don't need to care about. I really don't need to care about trimming this up right, but I'll finish trimming it. Both ways. Okay, so this is the old way. I'll show you the old way right quick. Okay, so for the old way, you start with these pre-trimmed to the size that you want them, okay? So these are 6 inches. So I gotta double check. I want this to be, no, that's not big enough. Okay, what else do I have? Is that big enough? I want at least 1 inch on all 4 sides. At least. Got some extra stuff around here. I just gotta figure. Oh, there's some right there. There's a whole bunch right there. Here we go. Okay. I need at least 1 inch all the way around. So what I do is generally, okay, like I've got, okay, this, I'm gonna have to trim this in anyway, right? And I'm probably not gonna have a big enough piece to be worth saving. My scissors. I have scissors buried in this pile somewhere. Come on, there they are. I'm just going to scissor it out. So this is the old way. This is what I've been doing. So I have to start with this at the size. I have to start with this at the correct size. And if necessary, if you're going really, this is literally what I live to do. It's fine. I'm having fun. Okay. So if you are not wanting, if you are like, oh, I really don't want this much waste, then make sure that you're measuring and that you have at least 1 to 1.5 inches, depending on your preference, all the way around, right? I'm going to use the black thread. I'm going to use black thread just to make it really obvious what I'm doing. So I'm not going to switch up my threads. Do whatever quilting works. Do whatever type of quilt, whatever style or type of quilting works best for you. You do it. Actually, I should probably go from corner to corner. So don't forget, this is your final quilting step. You're doing your final quilting step on a block by block basis. Do not go, give yourself a little bit of space. Do not go the same rules for quilting applies per block as it does any other way. Okay, that's done. This one's done. Okay. So that one's done. And again, so I've got the 3 lines at the back, right? So then this one here, same deal. We're going to put this on the blue. Line her up. So you prep your block, you prep your backing, you make sure everything is lined up the way that you want it lined up. Make sure that everything's nice. Make sure everything's good to go, right? Make sure you have at least okay, some people like, if you like it to be really wide, if you like that to be really wide, then you do whatever you want, right? But it's gotta be at least an inch because it's gotta go over there. I'm just gonna do a corner to corner on this one as well. But again, whatever if you have a quilting, if you have a detailed quilting plan for how you're going to quilt out each block, this is when you do it. And now this particular method, I made a couple of changes because this particular method, especially when if you're working with a larger piece, you're going to want to pin them down because things can shift. Which is why I made a couple of changes, which I'll show you on the next pair. We're done. We're done. We're ready to go. Okay, so now we've got 2 pieces. Now we've got these 2 pieces and we need to connect them together, right? So I always store them like this, again, because I am just allergic to the idea. I know there it is. I like having this table so close. So now I trim this down. So I'm just going to give myself 1 inch all the way around. I grabbed the Lazy Susan and then I'm just still spraying the fabric anyway. So then you go like that. You are going to end up with a bit of a rustic look here. Okay. There's going to be some rusticness to it. So if you like the precision well, actually we'll get there in a minute. This one here has a chance of things moving, like over here in this corner, the batting shifted back behind the thing. Not a big deal if you're going for this. So this does really well if you're going for a rustic look. So all the way around on that one, set that aside. All the way around on this one, 1 inch, 1 inch, 1 inch. Pin as needed. You guys know the detail, know the thing on that. Yeah, why are you sorry for the trouble? Like, my God. I am just surprised that I managed to get a piece done in like less than 4 hours. Because usually I spend so much fucking time talking that it takes me like, hey, this takes me 20 minutes in the real world, but 3 hours here, guys. Okay, so now we're all up to speed on that, right? So now I've got 2 pieces. They're ready to go. So now all I've got to do, you can pin or not pin, your call. I'm not going to pin because I'm fucking lazy, but you just line up. Sorry, let me get this in here. You put it back to back, right? You put your 2 pieces back to back, line up that corner with that corner, pin if you need to, especially if you have a bigger piece, you're going to want to pin. Okay. This is where you rely on your sense of touch as well. So now you're gonna, and again, little bits of shifting are to be expected, which is why you're going to go for a more rustic look. Now let me get that back over to the machine. So you are just going to take it to the machine, start all the way up to the edge. Probably a good idea to backstitch, but that's personal choice. Get in here and double check as you go, or pin, or you can even get in here with it. You can even get in here and mark it. But just make sure that this side and this side are more or less lined up. Again, rustic. It's okay if things move around a little bit. Go all the way through to the other end. Backstitch. Oh, there you go. Okay, so now you've got these are already sewn down. These 2 are now sewn together. So now you've got this, right? So you just open that up, take Take the time to iron it. Again, some shifting is to be expected, especially if you're like me and you're lazy and you don't pin. So you just lay them out, fold it in half, roll it over, right? Back to the machine. I'm not, okay, I already know what's happening next. I'm not going to bother back stitching up here. I like to backstitch when you're joining the two pieces together, but for this, you don't need to backstitch unless you really want to. Okay. So that's done. Because at the end, this is going to get folded under and under again. So you come over to the other side, you do the same thing. You fold it in half again. That's sealing this seam and it's closing this all up, and it's doing it without adding an extra layer of bulk into your project. So something shifted in here. I'm hearing a little click. Okay. Every now and again, you may have to give a little tug to hold them out. Yeah. So then you do that. Okay. And again, you've already done. So if you're working on something really, really, really detailed, you've already done all the detailed work and created a stack, and now you're just folding this together. So now this is really simple. You're just going to fold that up and that up. When it comes to, because you're done. Fold that up and that up. I'm only adding this is like extra layers here. You're putting that up and that up. So back over to the machine. So now what I'm going to do, because this is the outer edge, when I get to the edge, once I get to this area here where all this stuff meets, you will lose points and you have to plan for that. But let me just finish this, and then you can see for yourself too. Some points you will lose, some points you will not lose. What you're going to where you're going to lose. I mean, you're going to lose. Okay, it's exactly like binding. It's exactly like putting on binding, except for in this case, you're binding every piece. But I will tell you right now, if you are putting together a relatively quick, relatively low effort quilt to begin with, especially if you're just working on scrap and stuff. So that one's done. And now it's going on. Now, I guess it's not going on. So you can miter it if you want. Oops, sorry, I'm over here. I thought I pulled it up so you could see. You can miter it if you can miter the corner if you want, and then fold it in and go that way. And you can get a mitering. I just did a quick nasty one, and I wasn't trying very hard. So you can fold it down and get a miter. But yeah, all I'm going to do here is I'm just going to. I like using the foot as like an extra hand, especially if you know you're not going to be putting a lot of pressure in. So you just come down here, you fold it into place. Get it lined up. I like to start a little bit away from the edge. Come on down there. Back stitch to the. I like to back stitch towards the corner and then come forward. I'm going to have a lot less issues with the corners trying to stuff themselves into the machine. And you got to you should backstitch. I believe you should backstitch your corners anyway. So not everybody does, and it's not. Oh yeah, I'll show you where your points are. You're not losing nearly as much as you think you're losing, and you're losing it in the exact. Ah shit, my thing ran out. My bobbin ran out. You're losing your points in the exact same way you would lose the points on the edge of a quilt that has binding on it. So it's not that bad. It's just that you're losing it on every panel, not just the edges. I wish there was a way to make these a different color, because I swear to God, every time I set them down, I lose track of them. Okay, so this, I ran out of bobbin. I'm going to start over. Yeah, let me get this done. I'm almost done. And again, this is me not trying too hard too. Like if you want to put the extra effort into it, you can get a lot better of a result. That was the, yeah, that was there. Because you can fold this in, iron it down. You can like this, you can iron that open and then fold it in. You'll get a much crisper finish. It'll be a lot better lined up. I'll go get one of the blankets. I'll go get one of these scrappies in a second for you, and you can take a look. Actually, I guess what time is it? Yeah, it's only 3:30. I do have plenty of time to do the other one. Okay, back to the corner. I said I was going to do the thing. Basically, when you get to this section here, because you don't want all this to split open. Where these two are connected, the very end here can over time split. So I just make sure it's not going to split or unravel itself by just backstitching when I get to that section. I didn't do it on the other side because I was dumb. It's also, you know what, it's easier to be lazy. It's easier to be a little bit lazy about it when it's your own project, because if I forget to do that on a project and want to do it later, I can just take it out of whatever room it's in and walk it 5 feet to the machine. And of course, I am being lazy. I know it. I absolutely know it. I'm not, like I said, some of the, my line is kind of wobbling a bit and doing whatever. So ignore the lack of straight stitches because I'm focusing on speed more than anything to have it to finish to show you. Okay. There we go. No problem. Okay, so here we are. So they're connected together. They're connected together. There's no extra. Now, the one thing is that where they've been sewn together, if you get some light behind it, where they've been sewn together, you can sometimes see light. Obviously, your points, they're still there, right? So the points are still there. Everything else is still there, still in place. But here's the thing: is that usually you get to usually you do all this stuff, and then you have to do then you have to run these big giant pieces of fabric through the you have to run these big giant pieces of fabric through your machine, especially if you're doing it on a machine this size at home. This avoids so much hassle with trying to run large, you do your flimsy, and then you run the entire quilt through. It saves you a whole lot of issues. Anyway, so that's how I do it with this. The alternative that I do, hey, where's that? Oh, I tore up that piece because I was stupid. Oh, here we go. I can do this because I was going to do this anyway. Where is it? Okay. So it's the exact same. It is the exact same process. That's not the one I want. I want to do this one right though. I need the right. If I'm going to do this one, it has to be done properly. Okay, I'll just do this one. I am just going to do this one. Okay, so I've got this one, right? And I want to put it on. Yeah, okay. So I got this one. Let me get some. Oh, let me just get a different batting. That'll make it easier. Let me get. I don't want to waste batting, so I'm just grabbing whatever I happen to have a chunk of that I know is not earmarked for other projects. Okay, so I take that. So I've got, because the batting doesn't matter. Yeah, exactly. Well, this is the thing. I don't know if I showed you. I don't know if you guys have seen the giant Hello Kitty quilt that I made for Lisa. I did that on a Singer Simple, one of the smallest machines on the market, and I used this technique to. Okay, is that the same size? Okay, this is the same size. Okay, so the other version of this technique is that's my back. So I'm making my quilt sandwich on the mini as a tiny, right? I'm making my quilt sandwich. Pin if necessary. I'm fucking late. I gotta blow my nose. I'll be right back. Did pretty good today, though. I made it for like over an hour. Okay, that worked out really well because then when I'm up, I can have a pee. Anyway, okay, so this is. I gotta show you guys something. So this is one of the very first quilts I made using that method. Okay. One of the very first quilts I made using that method. And of course, the camera's not going to show it. This is now Bruno's blanket, by the way. This is one of Bruno's blankets. There we go. Okay. So as you're doing more of these, they have to connect here, right? So that one's pretty good. That one's off center. This is why you have to, if you're going to do this style, you have to embrace the rustic, because with that particular way that I just did it, and the fact that doing it the way I just did it, things do shift a little bit. It's the quicker way though. It's much quicker, but things do shift a little bit. And so you just have to commit to not caring about your perfect corners and stuff like that. But look, I just took a bunch of scrap 10-inch by 10-inch squares, one single crisscross on flannel. This is a light summer blanket. One single crisscross on flannel, and I used up a ton of scrap. And I did this in like 3 days of just three evenings. Yes, Bruno, I'll put it back. Bruno wants his blankie back. So, what I did, this addresses the problem of things. Yeah, oh yeah, it's really easy. This addresses the problem of things shifting. So you line everything up, make a quilt sandwich. This is, you make your little, these are called quilt sandwiches when you do this, right? So that quilt sandwich was self-binding. This is also going to be self-binding, but it's going to be a little bit different. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make my sandwich. I'm just, like I said, I'm just putting it together quickly, make it quick and easy. I have no one, this one is scrap. This block is scrap. I was testing to see what I would think of the design, and it's not even close to lining up in the center. Look at that's not even, yeah. So this is not, this is actually a piece that I forgot to throw away. So that was good luck that it was still there. So again, whatever you want. Well, the flannel goes in the middle. I used the light flannel as batting. So, because I keep flannelette on hand. They make great summer blankets. Couch throws. Okay, so again, so basically you're gonna finish each block individually. That's for this whole thing. Though this time, I'm not going to worry about the size, but now you're going to finish each block individually. and then trim. So if this is, oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, doing those by themselves, doing just one at a time as a mug rug, they're great. Okay, so now with this one, this has been trimmed to size and then put on here, but I like, okay, that one over there is not trimmed to size. This is the method I'm going to use for that one over there. I'm going to make a sandwich. I'm going to quilt it up. Then I'm going to trim it. This is super, this is a super, then I'm going to trim it. And obviously if I had a pattern or a style, I put the other, I put this one back because I'm saving it for something. I might just make a glorified mug rug for it out of it. I don't know what I want to do with it yet. Okay. So I'm just going to trim it to size. I'm gonna do the exact same method. I'm just preparing the block differently. So, like I said, I would not, if this block was like this much bigger, I would just leave it. I know Linda knows what I mean. When you're preparing a block, I wouldn't square it up. I wouldn't do anything. I would save all of that for this step. Okay, so now I've got that. What do I have for a piece of, that's a piece of backing. Oh no, I don't need that. Okay, so I've got my front and I've got my back, right? Now I can, are these the right size? I don't think any of this is the right. I haven't got a long piece. I need one longer piece. Oh, I can take it off. Oh yeah, that'll work. Okay. So basically this time what I'm going to do is I'm going to prep this, and these are going to be 2 inches, 2 inches. I'm going to make these at least 2 inches. Oh, Jesus Christ. What am I doing here? That one's a piece of scrap. I'm going to cut at least 2 inches. I'm going to do this properly. I'm trying to like just get rid of scrap. This is scrap too. I'm trying to get rid of scrap. So I'm picking through shit and it's not going to show you what you need to see. So I'm going to do at least 2 inches. Okay. I believe in going a little bit over than trimming back. So I'm going to do at least 2 inches. That's one, 2. I probably need a second piece because I don't think that's going to finish off the last one. It's not going to hurt me to do that. Okay. So throw that shit in the corner. I'm not going to so basically I am going to come back here from the back. I'm going to go over to the machine. This is really simple. I think you already, I'm guessing that you already are knowing where I'm going here, but so you're either going to use the same or contrasting. You're going to do whatever the fuck you want because it's your project, right? And I'm just going to go at a little less than a quarter of an inch. It doesn't really matter. Again, I'm lazy when I'm doing small pieces, but I try not to be as lazy when I'm doing bigger pieces. Okay, first one's down. Flip it upright. You flip it upright and then do that. Because what's going to happen here is you're going to be able to come up and around, and you've got the exact same border back on again. So this gives you a chance to change it up, and then you just do the next one. I'll do the next one's just rough and ready. Here, we'll just go. Little tiny bit. There we go. Oh, I should have left the end open on that one. Then I could have just added them. So I'm just adding to the back of every single one. So this one takes longer. This particular alteration, this particular tweak of the method takes a little longer to do. Yep. Oh, maybe I do have enough. I don't know. I didn't think I did. I don't know if this is going to be enough. Oh, it's enough. It was enough. I didn't need to cut the second piece. So now, you've got, I got my pins all tucked under there. So you can either, again, embrace the rustic, or you can either embrace the rustic, or you can go over to the machine and just iron all this down, and you're done. So now you've got, yeah, so basically you would prepare, basically you're quilting in sections and then connecting the sections. So like for this one here, where's one? Like for this one here, right? I'm going to trim this. I'm going to trim. Oh, this is not one. This is the old method. That's the old method. Yeah. See, look what I did here. This one here, I did with the new method. So it's already sewn on. You can see the sewing there. It's wider than I need it because then I can take my time. I'm going to do, this one's going to be a little wider because I used the same color for the backing, which becomes the binding, as I did for here and here. But this is the same color. And then I did the exact same thing, only I used the same color for everything. So then when it's time to connect them, I'm gonna, when it's time to connect them, now these ones are gonna get pinned, right? But when it's time to connect them, I'm gonna connect from the back. So put the two backs together. I'm gonna connect them. They're gonna be sewn together like this. And then that one, it's the exact same way to finish as the other ones, as these two. So once this has been sewn on after, then you're going to do the exact same thing you did here, right? So the only difference with this is that I can properly trim my block. And doing it the other way, I can't. Doing it the other way, you properly trim your block, then you connect it and hope nothing shifts. Doing it this way, it's perfect. As long as you're happy with your block, you trim it. You finish it, then trim it, then add this separately. But it's going to connect. It's going to connect into this. It's going to sew. Like if I hadn't have sewn that down, I shouldn't have sewed this one down, because then you're going to do the exact same thing. You're going to back everything up. You're going to sew it together, open it up, and sew it down. So yeah, it's really simple. And what I realized, the closest thing that I can figure out is that I saw a variation on this where what people were doing was sewing their backing together first, and then inserting these into the pockets that they've created. And it looked kind of, and then when I went back and looked at it again, it's like, I don't remember that. So it's like, but yeah, but this will sew up. I'll finish it like mud rug style. This is gonna sew up the exact same way as the other one. You're gonna have some seams. You're gonna have this where these two meet, but that's okay. I'm not bothering to trim this one, so it's gonna be wider. So the only thing that you have to pay attention to is that when you're sewing this on, if you want to keep this piece narrow, if you want to keep your binding narrow, then you have to be careful and make sure you're not going as far in, like maybe do it like 1/8 of an inch, just enough to barely tack it down. Just enough to barely tack it down, then you're done. Something else that you can do too is if you really want to, you can go like this, fold it. When you get fold it immediately. Get to your corner, turn, back up, then go. That works. But anyway, yeah, I really like this. I really like this method. It has let me put together a lot of, like, that's how I did. I'll go. Lisa's, yeah. You guys are seeing Lisa's, oh shit, I did that wrong. I went to too close to the end. So if you fold this in before you hit the edge, you can just go and do it in one solid round. But yeah, there's a certain rustico element that you're going to be encountering, and as long as you take that into account when you're making your design decisions, then you're good to go. What time is it now? Oh shit, perfect timing. Perfect timing. I actually have to get off kind of sort of on time, whatever on time looks like, because we're meeting some friends for dinner tonight. One of Lisa's best friends from like high school, from her high school days, is in town. To the corner, back. Okay. There we go. Didn't want to climb it. It didn't want to climb the hill. Didn't want to climb the hill. Oh, that may have slipped. That's right. Yeah. My my walking foot slipped. There we go. My walking foot slipped up too far. So yeah. So now it's got whatever on the back, whatever. Well, that's what binding ends up doing anyway. So you get a better. I didn't go to the corner on that one. I'll fix it right now. I didn't go to the corner. Until I haven't done any serious sewing in a couple months, if I'm forgetting something that basic. There we go. Anyway, so yeah, so this is really easy. I've done projects. Actually, that's probably one of the small. I don't usually do anything less than 10 inches. When I'm doing this method, I usually do about. Okay, I will self bind for yeah, it turned out really well, especially considering, like I said, this doesn't even meet properly in the corner. Like this was just, I was like, hey, I wonder what it will look like. You ever do that? Like you throw something together, not giving a shit how it turns out, just so you can get a generalized idea of what you're looking at. And it's like, well, I wonder how this would look. So I threw it together, and it did not. I was hoping it would meet, but I knew it wouldn't. But I wanted to get a generalized idea I wanted to get this idea. I wonder what that looks like. Oh, that's really cool. I was like, oh, here's how I fucked it up. So yeah. But no, this is really good. This is a great way to do mug rugs and stuff like that, because I've seen people do the binding on them, and it's like I would never take the time. I'm just actually, you know what? I don't know. I'm basically, my response has always been, I'm too busy with the shop. Now that I'm not too busy with the shop, it's like I've actually got time to really lean into the finer work and see how that goes. Because I know I can do it. I just need like I know I could have done that properly and had everything meeting. I was in a hurry. I was like, I'm in a hurry, and I'm in a hurry, so I'll settle for a general idea before I worry about doing it right. Right. So now I can go, oh, and yeah, so I'm going to be working with crows for the next little while. But yeah, so that's how they connect together, though. They just do that. So when you're getting to these intersections, like, you know, if you get to an intersection where you've got all four of these meeting, now I do not work with binding. So see, I've got two layers of sewing there. So I'm not sure if that's something. Yeah. Oh yeah. I'm gonna be back. I've been waiting. Okay. Here's the interesting thing about timing. We've been waiting for the weather to start cooling down. I can't sit back here for more than an hour max, especially with the iron going in the kind. We had this really weird summer with this really weird, I don't know. Vancouver weather is we go through our hot spells over the summer, but they're not usually extended. And we had like, we didn't really have any heat waves, but we had extended still air with the mustiness and the whatever. We'd extended periods of that. So I've actually been waiting for things to settle down. I've been waiting impatiently. Another trick that you can do, I'm not going to do it, but another thing that people do is they put together their, I haven't done it yet, where you put together all of these, finish them all, and then when you're ready, just zigzag them together and do that. So that's another way that you can do it. But yeah, that this is slightly different from all the self. This is different from the self-binding techniques that I was aware of. You do have to embrace the rustico. Have you guys seen Lisa's yeah, I'm gonna go get it. I'm pretty sure you guys have seen it, but just as a reminder, this is the technique I use. Hi, Sheila. Let me go. It's sitting right here. I might as well go get it. Herpes. Throwing my own shit on the floor. This is the technique I use to make the upside right. That. I made this entire blanket. I did the same thing with my dragon blanket. I did the same thing with Bruno's blanket that I showed you, but I did the exact same thing. Let's get the scissors way, way, way away from here, because if I snip any of this stuff, she'll kill me. But yeah, so same thing. Everything was backed in the pink, and you can see where the joints were, right? Yeah. That's what we had. It got hot, and then it just kind of stayed that way. But like here's where they were joined together, right? Going into the corner seams. So you can use this, and of course now this, I pinned everything. I pinned like as much as I possibly could, because when you're working on a bigger project, if you're working on a scrappy project, I'll tell you right now, the blanket that I brought out that I showed you, that Bruno now, it's really, really beat up with all kinds of problems. Come on, not problems, but it's old. It's a really old blanket. Why is that? I hate this camera sometimes. There we go. But yeah, like when I did that blanket, I don't think I pinned anything, right? When I did this blanket, because I wanted these, like this piece here goes through, well, the center panel. I did this entire, I completely framed in the center panel, right? The entire center panel, one piece. So I did the whole thing. Now I did that the old style, but I pinned everything down. I quilted the whole thing. I quilted out this center panel, then got it all prepped, did the thing, set it aside. Then I did this piece, as every single pink frame is a separate piece, and it turned out really well. Because there are ways to. It's okay if you quilt even a little tiny bit. You're always planning for it. You're okay, Bruno. This camera, I swear to God, I have had 3 months to figure out what, if anything, I want to do about this crappy camera. And I never did. But anyway, no, you can use this for mug rugs. of any kind, any size. I'm going to keep that one. I've got a spot. I've got a spot over there. I've got a spot right here because I always have, whenever I'm over here, I always have a pop handy that I should probably be using some sort of a coaster. Because if I ever spill on that spot, I'm not going to wreck anything, but it's going to, well, actually, yeah, pop spilling on stuff is a mess. But yeah, so that's that. It's 4:00. I should probably get going because I don't have anything super, super serious that I need to get done, but we are going out for dinner after work. It's not like I have to go to the mailbox. So that's actually, that turned out really well because we went to the mailbox. We have the P.O. box and we went on Wednesday. We went to the mailbox on Wednesday, found out that the government was making an announcement Thursday morning, and by yesterday afternoon, they were on strike. So I don't know how that's going to go. I really have no idea what's going to happen with that, but yeah. So the shop is staying closed for the rest of the year. Regardless, if they can settle this postal dispute by the end of tomorrow. We're going to the keg with some friends. They're in town for the weekend, but it's also her friend's birthday. So we're going to take them to dinner. We're going to go to the keg, have some steak, make a bit of an occasion out of it. Yeah, I think I'm going to put that over that's going to be over by my spot because I usually have a pop and a water out at the same time. So now I can, yeah. The funny thing is that once I make something, no matter what I'm making it for, I always find a way to keep it. So, but yeah, I'm done to the end of the year because we've gone from postal issues to postal delays to tariff issues to tariff delays to tariff, postal. And now we have a postal strike. And by the time they get this sorted out, it'll be just in time for the free trade agreement to be up for renegotiation. Canada wants to play trade war. I mean, I get it. I get wanting to. I get it. I totally understand that. But when you already know up front that you can't win a trade war, it's kind of stupid. Because, Trump might be signing the executive orders, but he's not directly negotiating this stuff. So to get to the fucking table and figure something out. But that's just me because I'm watching people in my Facebook group losing their businesses over this, and they do rely on the income. So that's a bit of a different problem. But anyway, so I'm done until next year. I will reevaluate come January, February, and see what's going on. I think everything will have settled down by then. I really do, because once the postal stuff is taken care of, by the time they figure out the postal strike issues up here, everybody should have the tariff issues sorted out. So even if I'm stuck dealing with tariffs, I'll know exactly what's going to happen. Right now, we don't know what's going to happen. People are putting stuff in the mail thinking that they're compliant and getting their shit back. One guy in my group sent a $300 item to somebody and got hit with a $300 tariff because he didn't fill out his paperwork properly. It's like, oh, turns out that if you don't fill out your paperwork properly, then the tariff rate is basically 100%. Who knew? Well, brokerage fees as well. So anyway, I'm not going to babble about that. I'm supposed to be going out and having a good time. Isn't it gross? I gotta start. It's like, okay, I'm just gonna. Oh, and here's the joy. He had a trouble. There's the other spot, and there's the other spot. He had trouble getting the needle in. Yeah, it's not sore. It's just weird looking. And I'll tell you right now, my issues. I don't like the dentist, which doesn't help. And the instant they lay me back to start working, I start getting postnasal drip to the point where I'm just laying there gagging. So this has been a lifesaver. I went for years and years with no dental treatment at all. And I have 3 bridges actually, to show for it. I think I just sucked in a wad of dust. Anyway. I'm going to take my hacking ass and I'm going to get out of here. Where's my mouse? I'm going to get going, guys. So thank you for hanging out with me. This has been a lot of fun. Nice to get back into the old routine again. So hopefully you're going to see a little bit more of me in this channel. But it's going to be almost all quilting now. until next year. Quilting, trying new techniques, doing whatever, and then we'll see what goes from there. So the next, because I've got like what I just did, that's 5. I've got 11 more. I don't know I don't know if I'm going to do every other as a crow block or do every one as a crow block. I think every one. Yeah, I'm glad you got to come in and hang out too. I don't know if I'm going to do every other as a crow block and keep some neutral colors in some really, because I think that would really make the crows pop. I think if I had every single one as a crow, I think they might not pop the same way. So I have to decide on that, but I've got 5, that makes 5, 3 more to go, and then I can evaluate whether I want a full set or every other. We'll see what happens from there. But anyway, I'm going to get going now, guys. Thanks for hanging out with me. I will see you on the next one. In the meantime, you guys have a great weekend and stay out of trouble. Bye. Oh my God, play outro. Sorry. Okay, I am leaving. But they've made some changes and I forgot. I didn't haven't seen this change yet. So I got to take that off. There we go. Okay, now I'm leaving. Bye, guys.